The loop is a simple-looking card with a multifaceted meaning, showing just one mathematical and esoteric design. The kanji character on the top of this card is wa, meaning ring, wheel, or circle in Japanese. A card rich in duality. It is captured by the dual efforts of both Sakura and Shioran, and its chief ability is the manipulation of space and time, and the bringing together or splicing of different locations. Since it is claimed that the card cannot be seen until it is untied, this suggests something of the mysterious nature of time, the moving and swirling of a ribbon, illustrating time as an expression of motion. As speed and the effect of gravity change, so would relative motion, or time. This affects only the measurement of what we call time, and some have reported strange phenomena where they find themselves momentarily slipping into another time frame, in an occurrence known as a time slip. The city of Liverpool is a particular hotspot for such rare events, with many reporting lucid and tangible sensations of being suddenly in a place out of their own time, before swiftly returning to what they know as reality. Strangely, the area known as Bold Street in the city is a place where such phenomena has often been reported, and some have suggested that the movement of underground rail lines may somehow affect the frequency of reality, just as how Shioran used a Lazen board to uncover the loop card. The design of this board akin to the Bagua, an energy map linking all aspects of life, centred on the coming together of opposing forces and linked by the elements of physical reality. The shape on the loop card is known as a Mobius loop. This is a continuous, one-sided surface, of which is created from a rectangular strip rotated at one end by 180 degrees and attached to the other end. It is therefore an infinite surface. It has only one side and one edge, and thus it is a perfect reference to the above-mentioned nature of time in esoteric practice. It has no beginning and no end. If you were to crawl along the length of a Mobius strip, you would return to your starting point, having traversed every part of the strip without ever crossing over an edge. You can actually experience this in real life by riding the Grand National roller coaster at Blackpool Pleasure Beach here in the UK, which is one of only 2 surviving Mobius loop-shaped rides in the world. And so the edge of the shape shown here on the loop card is equivalent to the circle. The usual embedding of this strip in Euclidean space shows that the edge is not a usual flat circle, and therefore it is possible to embed a Mobius strip in 3 dimensions, so that the edge itself becomes a circle. An application was devised called a Mobius resistor, based upon this concept, of where an electrical circuit, of which had the property of cancelling its own inductive reactance, was developed. Nikola Tesla actually patented quite similar technologies in the early 19th century, and one in particular was named the coil for electromagnets. This brings us back once again to the nature of vibrating reality and the elements, frequencies, and genetic makeup of what we call reality and what we call time and motion. The actual shape of a Mobius strip and loop dates back to the most ancient of times. A manuscript found in Alexandria, showing alchemical diagrams, contains illustrations which are, essentially, Mobius strips. You can create a model of this quite simply at home by simply taking a strip of paper, twisting it halfway and then joining the edges together to form a loop. Therefore you would have created yourself an esoteric pattern of which expresses transformation and infinity. The popular infinity pattern, another one of which can be seen upon the shape on the card. This infinity symbol shows up in esoteric manuscripts, literature and diagrams the world over, the most popular of these being a shape known as Ouroboros, of which is the name of a serpent in ancient beliefs, the great world serpent of whom encircles the circumference or firmament of the earth. Ouroboros as a shape is a particular symbol of which has been shown in many cultures from around the world, suggesting the outcropping of similar beliefs via travelling priesthoods, spreading different suggestions of what our reality may actually mean. This symbol was extremely popular amongst Gnostic belief systems and depicted a dragon or a serpent looping around itself and biting its own tail. In its most simplest of explanations, this symbol represents the continuity of time, an infinity similar to the wheel within a wheel, and of course the Chariot tarot card, suggesting an infinite twirling of energy, the Wheel of Dharma being another popular suggestion. Ouroboros is seen all over the world. The philosopher Plato described a circular being of which ate itself as amongst the first living things in the universe, an immortal being of which self-sufficiently sustains itself via a symbiotic relationship with its own self-cannibalism. The Ouroboros here symbolises the connection with us and the universe, what some would call God or a creator. It is as above and so below. It represents a conflict of life, that our lives upon this plane do not appear to be infinite. We are creatures of whom know that we die, and we are aware that nations, empires, civilizations, even entire planets and galaxies can perish in an eternal spiral of life, death, and rebirth. And so it shows life feeding upon itself. It's a simple image of which shows entire actions, entire circles of lives. And yet this symbol is cyclical. It is not linear, such as the arrow of time shown in contemporary science. It is an act of self-fertilization. Such as the being described by Plato, it is self-sufficient in nature. It shows the idea of a beginning and an end, as not set points upon a journey, such as the start of a journey and the end of a journey, yet instead being a continuous, unending principle, of which is eternally cycled and continued, the only point of where there is stillness, being the very point of where the head meets the tail, the very point of oneness, of singularity, and of stillness in the universe. To draw this card is to either ask the observer to consider their own relationship to their use of time, their relationship with stillness, and their own self-sufficiency. The use of time is, of course, their most valuable asset in life. Or it could suggest that they are walking in circles and not making progress in an area of their lives. One may need to hearken back to earlier times, to consider their position and where they wish to end up as they begin once more to make their own journey around the wheels of time.